8704 Broadway. And this is a evil motherfucker. She likes to taunt people in their consciousnesses. When you're about to do a video, like, when I put the frequency up there, she would, I could hear her in my consciousness plotting to manipulate people to come into my consciousness so she can use it against me. She's even, plotting right now to keep, spiritual help like angels and all of that from being able to come in and see what this issue is. And it's a lot of evil fucking shit. I had this motherfucker here. Plot to throw out my fucking father's soul consciousness, which is my connection to God. When you're born, when you're incarnated, you have your ancestors or your family made into your Godhead, your connection to God and so forth. And my dad is it for me, as well as my mother. And they keep this evil shit, Barbara and David Rayner or whatever, Ingrid Heiberg, whatever the fuck their real names. I wonder if these people, from what I understand, these people know them. This shit on me. Make a long story short, this motherfucker keeps this bald-headed motherfucker who was the first thing responsible for the curse, keeps trying to remove their soul consciousness and all of that from out my fucking body, and I feel it fucking with it right now. I need to get some earplugs and just listen to like 960 hertz or something. And I'm going to say this right now, I feel defeated because I tried that. Somehow she was able to invade my black kyanite. She did something where in the spirit plane she cut a hole in it and invaded it and took it over so it wouldn't be effective, and so she could use it to get into my consciousness, and she stole quite a bit of my fucking consciousness in the astral plane. It's a major fucking problem to deal with. On top of that, early this morning I had them roach spirits, try to basically get her out, as well as ancestors of a brother who had to reincarnate because of all the evil, sadistic, sinister shit, I got around me that I've been facing. Very, very nice Arabic, working with Allah, Islam, and all of that. Sound fucking crazy, but all of this shit is mad motherfucking real. I even had a fucking dream early this morning. It's like I was planning on doing a video, about that. And every time I'm about to do a video, this shit will plot and tell you, oh, don't do anything, stop, we're going to rebuild you, we're going to put you back together. It feels manipulative, and then shit just goes fucking awry, and you're supposed to stay the course, not do a fucking video, just stay unseen. And I find that when I do videos and stuff, things get a lot better, but it gets a lot worse with this Maria Parafin. For some reason, she feels like Teflon. But anyways, I had an awful fucking dream about my father with the Illuminati. This picture, which I was told is going to be him in the future. First, from what I understand, when I was seeing giant cockroaches in my old apartment in Miracle Mile, it was actually, in fact, him. From what I understand, that was him coming from the future. With that being said, I saw a visage of an entity, a dubbing, that was, it's kind of reminiscent on like to that film Jacob's Ladder, where they twist around in a very fucked up manner. And, entities and all of that. And with that being said, I gotta release myself from this curse dealing with Ingrid Heiberg, this evil ass shit with this wetback bitch now. From what I understand, they working with her or something, or put their consciousness, they working with her. That's why it's so hard to defeat this bitch, because they and me. And then, but anyways, I had a nightmare involving the Illuminati. I should have just put it out there, instead of fucking listening to this shit. Because it devolves into something fucking worse. How black my eyes are. You can see that there's a spiritual problem based on how black my eyes are. But anyways, I had, Maria Parafin keeps trying to get into the core of my consciousness so she could kill me in my motherfucking sleep. That's why I stay putting the codes which she's used against me in the past. When if people play him and all of that, as well as trying to bar out spiritual help. With that being, I feel her turning off my frequency. It's just, it's evil shit, and I'm going to do what I have to fucking do to get this shit off, and bring the finality to it, because, like I said, it's one thing that astroparasites ain't shit to get rid of, but like somebody's fucking highest self in your fucking spirit body, energy body, that's something that's extremely difficult to get rid of. And I noticed that the more I reach out, the better. But like I said, she fucked up and compromised my black eye. And now getting back to it, I had a nightmare about the fucking Illuminati. I had one in the middle of the night, as I was playing African meditation music. They were trying to show me, it's a place called Gita's, but they were showing me the Sandringham property. There was actually a young Latvian woman that lost her life a long time ago on, not at Buckingham Palace, but on their property.
पंजाब ਅਤੇ देश दुनिया ਦੀਆਂ ਹੋਰ ਖਬਰਾਂ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਪੜ੍ਹਨ ਲਈ ਕਲਿੱਕ ਕਰੋ www.avpsanja.in ਤੇ।
ਲੰਡਨ ਦੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਣੀ ਦੇ ਬਕਿੰਗਮ ਮਹਿਲ 'ਚ ਇੱਕ ਅਜੀਬ ਘਟਨਾ ਹੋਈ। ਇਹ ਘਟਨਾ ਅੱਜਕੱਲ ਇੰਗਲੈਂਡ ਦੇ ਸੋਸ਼ਲ ਮੀਡੀਆ 'ਚ ਕਾਫੀ ਚਰਚਿਤ ਹੋ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ। ਇੰਗਲੈਂਡ ਦੇ ਬਕਿੰਗਮ ਮਹਿਲ ਦੀ ਖਿੜਕੀ 'ਚੋਂ ਇੱਕ ਨੌਜਵਾਨ ਚਾਦਰ ਦੇ ਸਹਾਰੇ ਨੀਚੇ ਉਤਰਦਾ ਵਿਖਾਈ ਦਿੱਤਾ। ਨੌਜਵਾਨ ਦੇ ਸਰੀਰ ਉੱਤੇ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਕੱਪੜਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ। ਇਹ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਸਾਰੇ ਇੰਗਲੈਂਡ 'ਚ ਵਾਇਰਲ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ। ਵੀਡੀਓ 'ਚ ਵਿਖਾਈ ਦੇ ਰਿਹਾ ਬਕਿੰਗਮ ਮਹਿਲ ਦੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਸੁਰੱਖਿਆ ਕਰਮੀ ਬਾਹਰ ਆ ਰਹੇ ਸਨ ਤਾਂ ਇੱਕ ਵਿਅਕਤੀ ਚਾਦਰ ਦੇ ਸਹਾਰੇ ਮਹਿਲ ਦੀ ਖਿੜਕੀ 'ਚੋਂ ਹੇਠਾਂ ਉਤਰਦਾ ਵਿਖਾਈ ਦੇ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ। ਮਹਿਲ ਦੇ ਬਾਹਰ ਖੜੇ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੇ ਇਸ ਪੂਰੇ ਦ੍ਰਿਸ਼ ਨੂੰ ਵੇਖਿਆ। ਇਹ ਨੌਜਵਾਨ ਕੌਣ ਸੀ? ਮਹਿਲ 'ਚੋਂ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਕਿਉਂ ਉਤਰਿਆ? ਇਸ ਬਾਰੇ ਕੋਈ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਮਹਿਲ ਦੇ ਸੁਰੱਖਿਆ ਕਰਮੀਆਂ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਜਾਰੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤੀ ਗਈ। ਇਸ ਮਹਿਲ 'ਚ ਇੰਗਲੈਂਡ ਦਾ ਸ਼ਾਹੀ ਪਰਿਵਾਰ ਰਹਿੰਦਾ ਹੈ। ਮਹਿਲ ਦੇ ਅਧਿਕਾਰੀਆਂ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਪੁਲਿਸ ਕੋਲ ਵੀ ਕੋਈ ਸ਼ਿਕਾਇਤ ਦਰਜ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਵਾਈ ਗਈ।
ਹੁਣ ABP ਸਾਂਝਾ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਸਮਾਰਟਫੋਨਸ ਵਿੱਚ। ਐਂਡਰੋਇਡ ਯੂਜ਼ਰਸ ਪਲੇ ਸਟੋਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਤੇ ਐਪਲ ਯੂਜ਼ਰਸ ਐਪ ਸਟੋਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਾ ਕੇ ABP ਲਾਈਵ ਟਾਈਪ ਕਰੋ। ABP ਦੇ ਆਈਕਨ ਨੂੰ ਸਿਲੈਕਟ ਕਰੋ, ਐਪ ਨੂੰ ਇੰਸਟਾਲ ਕਰੋ, ਫਿਰ ਇਸ ਐਪ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ABP ਨਿਊਜ਼ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਨੂੰ ਸਿਲੈਕਟ ਕਰੋ। ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਾਣੋ ਪਲ ਪਲ ਦੀਆਂ ਨਿਊਜ਼ ਅਪਡੇਟਸ। ਤਾਂ ਹੁਣ ਚੱਲਦੇ ਫਿਰਦੇ ਕਿਤੇ ਵੀ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਖਬਰ ਜਾਣਨੀ ਹੋਵੇ ਤਾਂ ਡਾਊਨਲੋਡ ਕਰੋ ABP ਲਾਈਵ ਐਪ ਅਤੇ ਸਿਲੈਕਟ ਕਰੋ ABP ਨਿਊਜ਼ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ।
Shown them, Prince Andrew, Prince Charles, from what I understand, they in my timeline because of the soul swap. And then before that, like I say, before going back to 91, before he even became famous, I used to have dreams, astral visions involving Jay-Z and me and a bunch of young kids backstage. And from what I understand, it was because he was stealing our blessings. I got a feeling of rape. When somebody rapes you in the spirit plane or in your dreams and all of that, that's a sign that they done stole something from you. And with that being said, they're in my timelines. Now, with that being said, I was shown, I couldn't see it all. I kept getting blocked from seeing it because of all this evil shit that I got in my head, in my consciousness, on me, and all of that. Like I said, somebody was saying, reclaim your power. It's coming from this wetbag bitch, and possibly 2 crackers or wetbacks. I'm not really sure. Something's got to be fucking done regardless of what the fuck they are. And beanbags. But anyways, with that being said, I was shown something where, I heard of a place called Gita's where they torture the fuck out of people in the physical plane. And they supposedly have one downtown. I got 425 Broadway or something adjacent to it. Like this closed building. But you can use 1248 hertz to get rid of them. Like I say, it's hard to get rid of Maria Parafin because I tried using it to get rid of her, and I ended up losing some of my spiritual protection along with some of my Arsgoisha demons. Because she's somebody's highest self. She's a separate consciousness, so it's hard to really combat something like that. And try to get her out unless you have strong, not really strong spiritual protection, but basic, which I don't, The conundrum that I face is that if I try to get Baron Samedi involved, he'll try to remove, remember I keep talking about I got a soul swap going back to August 22nd, 2022. He'll keep trying to remove my father from my connection to my father, going back to that timeline. When you're in the roach room, it's like, from what I understand, from what I've heard from these spirits, these roach spirits, Groundhog Day, where you kind of repeat the same day. And he'll remove, my connection to my father, which is intrinsic to trying to, I gotta get rid of this wetbag bitch. Intrinsic to connecting to my dad, connecting to my father, to my Godhead, really. And him and that Alex Nascimento, mainly that Alex Nascimento did a number on that. I also keep hearing, I don't know how true it is. I know she took over his soul consciousness, the real one, that him and Maria Parafin hooked up to try to kill my ass off or something, or I'm trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. All of a sudden, as soon as I mentioned that, they fucked with his entity attachment, connecting me to him. So I'm really wondering what the fuck is going on. With that being said, I think I'm going to start playing 12,000 hertz because that shuts off consciousness. 114 hertz, but I need these entity attachments to work to put me together. It's just, it's a very fucked up situation. As soon as I mentioned that, I was shown in the spirit plane that Maria Parafin done commandeered a lot of control over my consciousness. It just shut down. I also saw something with Marie Laveau, who's one of my ancestors and all of that. And like I say before, Baron Samedi was actually a living person. It's like this shit starts fucking with your entity attachments to get you from speaking the truth in your own fucking head. But it's this Maria Parafin that's primarily the fucking problem. And I feel like all of this shit has way too much control over my fucking consciousness, and something is going to have to be done. I saw I don't know if it was for my betterment or what. I had the voodoo lords come. It was in the form of entity attachments, try to rebuild me and put me back together. Wanting to commandeer control of my consciousness, but it's that and some involved in that timeline and wanting to place Maria Parafin in charge as an entity attachment to keep me from coming back. And like I said, I'm just trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. And so I'm just speaking the whole truth from what I'm hearing. so I can get spiritual help. But it just seems like oh, I wanted to mention too, the reason why I brought up the Illuminati, my consciousness is so fucked up that it's hard for me to remember. I'll be screaming and hollering in my motherfucking sleep, is because in that timeline they keep kidnapping and torturing my parents. You can use 1248 hertz and I think 1248 2 hertz to get something back. But like I said, and like I'm about to say right now, the chief problem that I'm facing is it seemed like Baron Samedi and them roach spirits are the best help, but they keep trying to alienate me from them as much as they can. When your inner entity attachments and roach attachments ain't trying to work with you, the whole machine breaks down. So frequency and all of that, like what you see right now, as well as black kyanite, all of that starts to work against you. I mean, I even had my highest self fucking removed. Literally in the spirit plane. That's how bad it's done gotten with this Maria Parafin. You know, use 694 hertz, 695 hertz to see. With that being said, I could feel this bitch, you know, as there was somebody else by the name of Lauren that, you know, is one of the people from the PCH that wanted to steal my timelines and knew a guy by the name of Richard or some shit like that. Like I said, I'm just speaking the whole fucking truth, because this shit will delay you, have you delay your life, do odd and weird fucking things, like right on that night to get your shit back. You know, it's like, I remember one time I went, you know, I took some sleeping pills to go into a deep sleep, and when I woke up, everything was fleeced from me, out of me. With that being said, that's why I'm always reaching out for help. Because this shit is really, really, really fucking bad. And I just don't know what to do. You know, like I said, I don't have a real good spirit team. A lot of it is shit, you know, going back to the August 22nd, 2022 timeline working against me. I don't really have anything that has my best interest at heart from within. The closest I had was my higher self and the roach spirits, as well as ancestors and my dad and my mother, which they keep trying to disconnect me from. I don't have any inner, you know, spiritual protection is what I'm trying to get at. With that being said, man, what the fuck do I do? How do I cleanse this? It's namely her. Because like I said before, I'm going to say something right now. After them wetbacks over there, 8704 Broadway, put that curse on me. They put something on me. It's the higher self, one of them people, that the woman I got a reading from. I've been seeing Aztec death mask. I once saw a reflection of the Grim Reaper 2 weeks after May the 1st, 2024, when I was told something happened to me while I was asleep. You know, and I feel like I've been in between worlds, between the world of the living and the dead ever since. And I've also had people say that when they smell me, they would smell like a weird foul odor that would smell like a combination of burnt flesh and dead flesh at times. So, I mean, that's... going back to that date and going back to them people, something bad happened. Too, I plan to do a much longer video about the Illuminati link later on. A video that's been delayed. I'm just trying to figure out what the fuck is... That's an evil bitch, and this is just some evil. I want to go ahead and mention too that every single night, I know that timeline where I got soul swapped is real because I hear my poor father crying in pain and all of that in that timeline. You know, and again, it's got something to do with the Illuminati, the royal family. You know, I feel in Maria Parafin working with him to hold him up as sacrifice. I'm just gonna say I know that timeline is real, and this shit is just so fucking. You know, as I'm trying to express myself right now, I'm being made to sound fucked up because I'm getting my shit fucked up right now in my head, my consciousness by her. So I'm just gonna say, you know, him and my mother. You know, so I know that timeline is real.